Ponyville. Huh?
That was awesome! We gotta go flying more often, Twilight!
There you are! I thought you threw in the old towel and headed home.
I did head home, but not to throw in the towel. I went to get my secret weapon. Minuet, meet...
Hey, Pinkie Pie! Hi, Minuet! Twilight, you didn't say Minuet would be here.
You two know each other?
Oh, sure. She was one of Cadence's bridesmaids. We hang out all the time when she's in Ponyville. Didn't you know that? Huh. And you call yourself the Princess of Friendship. Twilight briefed me on the way here. We'll need 15 bags of confetti and as many hooks as we can get.
Let's go! We can pass by the donut place on the way.
And what are we gonna do? Just come with me.
Ooh, a brief history of the wagon harness. Huh? The life and times of Marari the Maneless. What is this?
It's a party for you. Come on in.
Thanks, but no thanks. I don't do parties.
I know, and I think it's my fault. Back when we were in school together, you invited me to a party. I was so focused on my studies that I didn't show up.
Big deal.
It was a big deal. And now that I realize how important friendship is, I'd like to make up for my mistake with a new party. A party in honor of my friend Moon Dancer. Please, you've got to let me make this up to you.
And you think this is gonna do it, huh?
Yes?
Well, sure, why wouldn't it? That was only the first time I ever put myself out there, and then you didn't even bother to show up. Then you left town without saying goodbye, even though we were supposed to be friends. I was humiliated. I felt like I wasn't important. I never wanted to let myself be hurt like that again. Those three finally convinced me that I had value, that other ponies might like me and want to be my friend. And you didn't show up! Ah!
You're right. This party can't make up for the way I hurt you. But please, don't let my mistake be the reason you can't be friends with any pony else.
Just with a monster invading Ponyville.
Maybe it's just a friendship problem, and it'll all be cleared up in a half an hour or so.
I hope so. Where's Pinkie Pie? I need my wedding planner! Oh no! On my wedding day? Some pony's gotta help me! You!
Me?
I need to move an entire wedding from tomorrow to today.
But no pony's asked me to organize anything since Twilight came to town.
So you'll do it?
I used to be the best organizer in all of Ponyville. You bet I'll.
It's a disaster!
Come on, we better get to the salon before that monster flattens it.
practical in the moment ponies. Well, when she finally catches on. I'm thinking of the Stairmaster. Although, to be honest, Discord's apples remind me more of the treats in Harry Potter.
Oh, God.
Which immediately makes me wary that somewhere in that orchard there's a vomit-flavored apple.
Oh, God.
And an earwax-flavored apple.
Oh, moving on.
I was thinking about the earwash one. Oh, God. Okay, yeah, I don't want to eat those apples now. Hopefully they have...
I don't blame Dumbledore for steering clear of that candy line.
No wonder. Oh my God. But yeah, so as they see Discord changing up the apples and all that, Apple Bloom has an idea. And she's like, hey, why don't we ask Discord to come up with themes to do for getting our cutie marks? And Discord is already rubbing his hands a la Mr. Burns, and he's going, this is going to be good. And I love how when they turn to him, he's just plucking the petals out of a daisy. Yeah, it's like, oh, I look so innocent and sweet. I am adorable, aren't I? Got to Discord inside the CMC clubhouse, and he looks even more dorky.
Yeah.
Like, how can he fit in there? And of course, they start trying out new different things. And I have no idea how we can tackle each one of these, because it's like, yay, they try one thing, to the next one. Yay, they try one thing, snap to the next one, snap to the next one, for like the entire comic. And in each one of them, they try a completely different proficiency. And I applaud the comic for its creativity in that right away, they don't start with the pop culture references. Those come later on.
Mm-hmm. And when Discord don't have any ideas left. But I have to say, Sweetie Belle here looks so cute!
I'm gonna have to put you down for that.
Ouch. Oh.
Oh, good. Norman is gone. We can just review the comic between the both of us.
Oh, man. There was only a sketch rune.
You shot me! Why did you shoot me in the arm?
Pop culture references. They are seeping into this review. Oh no, it's out of control.
Yes.
So
anyway,
sorry?
Actually, I do kind of wonder if Scootaloo's costume in the figure skating isn't a reference to the Hunger Games.
No, this was before.
She's got a flame costume.
No, you know what? I will agree with Silver. I think it might be, because this is right after the second Hunger Games movie came out. No, wait a minute. Not even the second. Like, I think it was right after the... I'm not sure when did the Hunger Games...
Do you guys remember that one Will Ferrell movie that he did? It was about ice skating.
Blaze of Glory?
Blaze of Glory.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. It's something similar to this that I can see here. And it fits perfectly well with Scootaloo.
Now, I do have to call a little bit of shenanigans. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how seriously to take this. People are saying, oh, it wasn't like that in the TV show. Okay, comics are their own continuity world in my mind. Mm-hmm. But Scootaloo's shown she's kind of the aerobatic and the dancer of the troupe. Mm-hmm. Here she is, but it looks like Sweetie Belle's the more graceful in this case. And I will say to Apple Bloom, when it looks like your friend is about to plow into you and there's going to be impact, do not hold a blade right next to your head.
Yeah, not very smart move right there, Apple Bloom.
Cutie Mark Crusader Darwin Awards.
No, I guess Scootaloo is good with on the wheels, but maybe when they put ice skates on her, she's not all that good. I'm not sure. Also, I should call this out because I saw it and it's kind of weird for me. The 3 Discord judges, they look like they have been taken directly from the actual TV show. Like that one panel. Remember from the episode Keep Calm and Flat Run?
Yeah.
Although I feel really bad calling Tony Flicks on this because as me being someone who has to draw comics from the ground up, like sketching, inking, and all that, I can totally understand when you are like so tired and so overworked that you are like, I'm going to take just a panel from the TV show. I can work off of that. So yeah, I can totally understand the decision of.
Hey!
My Little Pony, Equestria Girls, los juegos de la amistad. Photo Finisher.
Photo Finish, nuestro anuario de este año podría tener un poco más de dinamismo. ¿Te gustaría hacer algunas fotos para...?
No diga más. Yo, Photo Finish, capturaré la magia. ¡Me voy! ¡Alto! ¡Mantén la pose! Eso, estás hambriento. Ahora dale un mordisco. ¡No! ¡No lo muerdas! ¡Sí! ¡Sí! ¡No! ¡No! ¡Suficiente! ¡Me voy! ¡Deportes! Salta, salta, como un maravilloso saltamontes, como una grácil gacela. Estás luchando por meter el orbe del deseo en la red de tu futuro. ¡Suficiente! ¡Me voy! ¡Vamos, lee! La historia te tiene muy intrigada. ¡No, no! Ese libro está fuera de lugar. No sigue el sistema decimal de Dewey. ¡Shh! ¡Suficiente! ¡Me voy! ¡Bebe! ¡Bebe! ¡Juega! ¡Juega! ¡Píntalo! ¡Píntalo!
Hello everybody and welcome to the NBA Show Reviews. This is James Cork and with me I have Norman Sanso.
What are these things on my toes? They're strange.
They are called wrinkles and they happen on old people, like you are. And also awesome Brony reviewer Silver Quill.
I have been to high school. Middle age is nothing.
For those that say that we haven't been to war or we don't know what suffering is, yeah, try going to high school. Good luck with that. God damn it. Especially this high school, because today, of all movies that we may be touching upon, we're going to be talking about Equestria Girls, the My Little Pony spin-off movie directed by Jason Thiessen and written by Megan McCarthy. That was first premiered in the Los Angeles Film Festival on June 15, 2013. Wow. So, well, what is there to say about this movie that hasn't been said yet? I mean, it's been 2 years after the fact, no pun intended, and it's not, like...
You owe me a
yeah,
quarter.
Sorry. I think I do. I'm not allowed to say that without having to pay the owner money for it. God damn with this copyright thingy. But yeah, so, you know, we're gonna go across the board and we're gonna talk about this movie. We're not gonna go scene by scene, no need for that. And if you haven't watched it already, well, you know, just for the sake of it, if you haven't watched it and you're listening to this review, go watch the movie. It's only an hour long. We can wait. Then you can come back and listen to us. So, guys, what did you think of this film? What did you make of it?
Well, I fully agree with people that this was basically... you could see the dollar signs in Hasbro's corporate eyes as they realized, hey, we can market creepy-looking dolls to children and they'll buy it if we slap the My Little Pony logo on it. I'm sorry to be cynical, but I really think that was the initial motive driving this forward.
True.
Now, I will... well, the step that they did the best with what they had. Which, you know, you have to draw humans. That's going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
You have to transition from the My Little Pony universe to the Equestria Girls universe, even more confusing. And you have to basically have a very short-lived conflict. But to be honest, this had everything working against it. And ultimately, while I consider it a harmless movie, it didn't damage anything. It didn't reduce the characters in any capacity. At the same time, I was like, you know, even if this is part of the continuity, it has no impact. Everything that happens in the human world doesn't follow Twilight into Equestria. So right there, we've lost some involvement. I talked at length in a review about how Twilight's worried about being a leader, And I still maintain that she didn't learn to be a leader in the human world. She learned popularity. And people have argued, oh, but leaders are supposed to be popular. No. Abraham Lincoln did a lot of unpopular things during his time as president. I point to him.
One of them cost him his life.
What, going to the theater?
Well, I'm sure the theater was quite popular. JFK also made unpopular decisions. In fact, some of the best leaders we've had have not worried about being popular. They've worried about making good decisions. So I get kind of uppity when people say, we're at this point now, and this might explain potential President Donald Trump, that we're confusing popularity with leadership ability.
Okay.
Well, I guess
Don't
that's
vote
the
Trump.
I guess it's the problem with every leader, with every leader system nowadays is that they don't. You're right. They are confusing popularity with leadership. That is never the case, or very rarely the case. But I think the reason why people may defend Equestria Girls in that regard, I think it's because, well, maybe they see it as a different perspective on high school. Like, yeah, is the unpopular one that ends up saving the day. It's like, what? No, it's not. I always found it bizarre when people try to defend this movie from that perspective. Like, who is saying these things anyway? Where did you see these comments?
My YouTube video Equestria Daily comments.
Well, but regarding the continuity, I never consider this actually to be canon at all. I don't know about you guys, but how can you consider canon these when they are talking about alternate universes and then they talk about this happens and then they don't bring it up into the TV show? It's as canon as the Yu-Gi-Oh movie is to the Yu-Gi-Oh show.
Oh, but then they have Flash Sentry appears in Three's a Crowd and introduces ponies in Twilight's Kingdom, and you're like, oh, he's there. Yeah. He was in the movie. Yeah. Oh my! I mean, I think everyone would rather he just took a chill pill elsewhere. Even though, okay, I'll maintain this, and we'll probably talk about this more when we get to Human Flash Sentry. There is nothing inherently wrong with Flash Sentry in pony or human form. In fact, I saw some comments on Derpy Boru talking about his character, and it was an interesting point. If he hadn't been fleshed out to a degree, people would have loved to ship him with Twilight because he was this tabula rasa that they could make a personality for. But as it is, the old boy has just enough to him that you have a certain inflexibility in how you can present his character, but he's not fleshed out enough to really hold the audience's attention for extended period.
He's a weird character in that aspect. When you think about it, it's like he is not bland enough that I can replace him with myself and put me in his place, but he's not fleshed out enough to be his own character. He's weird in that. I have never seen a character that is so bizarrely put together. I'm pretty sure you guys can think of many examples, but I cannot think of any right now. It's odd.
I don't know. I mean, Flash as a character, he's pretty, well, how do I put this? In a show where the female character is more prominent than the male character, Flash is just one of those characters who is just there to be the love interest for the other character, which is Twilight. And to me, he doesn't really push the story along or drag the story down. He's just there just to be there. Not until up to the Luna scene where he comes in and saves Twilight. But besides that, Flash, if you look at it, he's kind of a awesome guy and a kind of cool friend you want to hang out with. He may be standoffish at first, but once you get to know him, he's pretty cool.
Well, I think we can pursue this when we get into talk about the movie proper.
Yeah, because I just noticed that the gun is over there and we are like in the stratosphere right now because we jumped the gun so high.
Yeah.
We are leaving the planet.
I'm just waiting for my turn, James.
Take it, man. Take it.
Oh, wow. No, I mean...
Do it. Just do it.
Okay. But anyway, as for me, when I how to put this? The movie, before it came out, I did this special podcast with, with Alpha Brony from Bronyville, Cal Payne, Pixel Kitty, Chef Sandy from Bronyville. And we were talking about the implications of this movie coming out and what do we do. It's like basically My Little Pony, Equestria Girls, what should we do, and is it time to panic? It's a podcast on the show. You guys should check it out. It's a while back, but we basically talk about the movie or what's this about and should we panic? Should we support it? Should we not support it and stuff like it was a really long time ago, but overall, once I saw this movie, I kind of am okay with it. It's not that bad. I wouldn't say this is the best movie I've seen in my life, but it's not that bad. It's kind of entertaining, and it does bring up a whole lot of questions to who or how Sunset came along and what is Celestia's deal. Well, when we go through it, we'll go through it, but I need to ask a few things when we get to them. Like, what's what we're looking for? Plot holes? Something like that?
Some ponies have those.
All I'm saying, Norman, is that you sound genuinely ticked.
Not really. It's just that, okay, besides the point that I've been reading a lot of fanfics, but it's just like the whole thing of, okay, I'll just say...
This messes with my headcanon.
No. Here's the thing. How does Sunset Shimmer know where to find the crown? And how does she know the crown even exists? And how does she know where to look for them and stuff? And when did Celestia have Sunset? And how old is Sunset? Blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? It's just a whole lot of how, what, what. But I guess when we reach that point, we'll reach that point.
We will reach that point when we reach that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You have to worry about it. We'll talk about it at length. Or not. Or maybe we'll just say it's a kid's movie. You don't need to think about it. But they thought about it on the show. Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Anyway. So how are we going to do this, you guys?
I didn't even say what I thought of the movie.
I
see. You just want me to introduce the film and then you just talk about it. Okay, fine.
You talk about...
I'm going to the corner now.
You share your opinion.
Goodbye.
Okay, what do you think about it, man?
The way that I see this movie is... how would I put this one? It's 2 parts My Little Pony, 1 part High School Musical, 1 part Persona 4.
What?
Yeah, no, seriously, because the way that Twilight has to build the friendships with the human main 6, and
social
then
links.
they have to build up their social links so they can go defeat a demon at the end of the game. It's Persona 4, okay? That's how I saw the movie since it premiered in 2013, and that's how I see it nowadays. That's one of the reasons why I enjoy it so much. I mean, I detach it completely from the My Little Pony TV show. This has little to nothing to do with the My Little Pony show. It has no connection with any of the seasons. We only have the characters, the voice actors, and the writers just taking this, making a spin-off. And because I don't connect it with MLP at all, I think that's why I enjoy it so much. This is probably one of those movies that I kind of was obsessed with it for a while. And like, I pretty much watched it every day. I had like, during the entire summer of 2013, I watched it daily. And like, had it as in the background or there in just playing in the background, not paying attention to it, or sometimes paying attention to it.
Wow.
But I think it's, I think the reason why I watched this movie so much is the same reason why I watched Star Trek Into Darkness so much. Because both movies, they are like a train wreck in a clown circus.
Oh, wow.
They are terrible, they are a mess, and they are not really good, but it's so entertaining to watch, and it's so fun that I can just switch off my brain and just watch it. People were saying, oh, Michael Bay is the perfect director for switch off your brain and watch the movie. Nah, that's not true. That is not true at all. This movie, though, is the perfect switch off your brain and just watch it. Because it doesn't require a lot of thinking to enjoy.
So wait, James, you're telling me that Twilight is Kenpachi Rama-sama?
I love you, Kenpachi Rama-sama.
Yay! Kenpachi Rama-sama. How can you be so flippant and so desirable?
With Nanako the narc face.
Oh my gosh.
So, where do we start? Teams or scenes?
We start on the Crystal Empire.
Alright, then.
Oh, synonymous with disappointment.
Yeah. I will agree, it's not the best way to start. No, I agree with you, Silver. Go ahead. Say what you were gonna say.
Well, the Crystal Empire has become synonymous with underutilization. I may have already said this in a previous podcast, but I'm gonna rehash this. Everything in the Crystal Empire could be great. This mystical land of magic and mystery, this lost for 1,000 years, so many new venues for entertainment. How many times have we visited this place? 3?
Yeah, I guess.
Let's see. We have on the season 3 premiere, Games Ponies Play, the Crystal Games. We saw it briefly with the crossover episode with Just for Sidekicks. Then we saw it at the end of season 5. No, at the end of season 4, I mean, season 5 hasn't even ended yet. What am I talking about? Season 4, and yeah, at the end of season 4. And, Pinkie Pie was there for a brief moment in Party Poop.
There's the other distinction. We go there as tourists for all of 5 minutes, tops. This place can't carry an episode for the life of it.
I don't think that's it, because my point of view is the writers are not utilizing this place well, because from what I'm looking at the pictures here, it has a lot of stories to tell, like the library, the scenes, everything is there for the pickings, just the writers are not utilizing it really well.
Yeah, but if you notice, even in most recent episodes, in the Princess Spike episode, they keep using Canterlot, which is a location that has been used since season 1. I think the problem with the Crystal Empire is that because of Hasbro's... No, it's not that it's too far. I mean, from a practical point of view, Hasbro wanted them to promote the crystal toys and all that, and the ponies that were made out of that they were translucent, and they didn't fully flesh the Crystal Empire beyond the season premiere. And because season 3 had only 13 episodes, I'm pretty sure if season 3 had more than 13 episodes, they could have put a few more stories that took place in the Crystal Empire, perhaps fleshed out the story with Twilight Princess a lot better, give her a bit more exposure. So yeah, you know what? Whenever somebody says the Crystal Empire is completely trashed and unused, I am like, I agree. I like the place. I like the season 3 premiere, but I agree. It's so underutilized. It's insulting.
And the same can be said for its rulers, 2 very interesting characters with a lot of potential that has been, in my eyes, going underutilized. Flash Sentry, he's living there now for reasons. He could be a really interesting character, but is not being utilized. It's all there. There's all the Crystal Ponies. We know of the librarian, but that's it. Even in the Crystal Pony, even in the comics, most of the Crystal Ponies are just ponified versions of TV personalities. There's so much that could be there, but either they can't or don't want to do anything with it.
Or maybe they are not allowed.
Yeah, I think it could be one of Hasbro's mandate thingies where we want to focus more on certain things and to push certain products. So this could be one of them. And the Crystal Empire, well, we'll see, because we still have half a season left and a season 6 to cover. So we'll see if they do more with it.
I shall not hold my breath.
Yeah, true that.
Well, you know that the seasons will keep rolling as Hasbro's marketing keep chugging out ideas. Like you said something at the beginning of the review, Silver, about how you were very cynical by saying, "Oh, this is Hasbro's new product; they are going to promote it, and that's what they need." No, that is not cynical. That is realistic. That is that is you giving an opinion that is grounded in reality, because you are correct. I mean, Hasbro is not going to use the Crystal Empire unless they have something related with it that they can market. So if they have no purpose or they have no use to make money out of it, they will not make something out of it. But then again, this is the company that dumped a lot of money into making a movie based on the board game Battleship and chucked 4 Transformer movies made by Michael Bay. Yes, they are marketing people, they are businessmen, but sometimes they are not very good ones. Maybe that's why they don't want to use the Crystal Empire anymore. They are afraid of another fluke. They are fearful of that.
I guess so. But anyway, so we are at the Crystal Empire, and what's happened next? Like, the pony all get around?
Yeah, they are there to a summit, princess summit of some sort.
There are 4 princesses. Why can't they just get together for a poker night?
Maybe they were waiting on the other Disney princesses to arrive, but their train crashed or something.
I just find it funny that apparently Equestria is more like a collection of kingdoms guarded by Celestia and Luna. It'd be hilarious if there were all these princesses walking in the background. It's like, you thought Princess Twilight was upsetting? Have a look at this, and this, and this, and this.
Oh, God.
Oh, man, I actually kind of wish I could have seen that now.
Oh, wow.
Here's the thing about Equestria Girls. Leading up to this was right on the heels of Princess Twilight. And people were throwing fits on the internet left and right.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Every time I thought, okay, it's finally dying down. People are calming. We're going back to Tranquilo. Oh, here's an Equestria Girls announcement. Ah! And then it started up all over again. Equestria Girls was like a rash that kept coming up and irritating the whole fandom. So by the time this movie finally came out, it was like, just get it done. Just put it out there. And let's put this behind us.
Yeah, but you know, the thing about this movie is that when it came out, or when it was going to come out, it was supposed to have a direct-to-DVD sales. There's no movie or anything like that. It's just there so that they can sell the dolls, because they were competing with Mattel, with Barbie and Monster High. But somehow the fans wanted this to go on theaters. And I heard a lot of bronies, from Dusty Cat to podcast hosts, saying that they went to the theaters to watch. Even going to theaters where they were sold out, like a whole family, like literally a whole family, like mother and dad with daughters wanted to watch the movie. The tickets were sold out. So that was that. So this movie was kind of out of nowhere. And for it to be in the film festival, that was even wow.
You know what? I think when the movie first came out, they kind of made a few numbers here and there. Mm-hmm. If you compare the amount of money that they made, combined DVD sales, Blu-ray sales, and the money they made on the theater, with how much money they put on to making the movie, and the rating that it got on Rotten Tomatoes, we could say that this is the highest grossing, highest rated Hasbro movie based on one of their toy products ever produced.
With how many percent money on return?
I think I think I don't know how much it got back, but on Rotten Tomatoes it has like a 63-65%.
That's not bad.
Which, dude, that is like 6 times more than what Pixels got. I mean, it's I know, okay, bad comparison and all that because it's Pixels, but think about that for a moment. Is that a movie that went into theaters that had millions and millions behind it, that was directed by one of the best directors of all time, Christopher Columbus. It has a lowest rating than Equestria Girls. Think about that for a moment.
Well, I don't know what to say about that, but to me, when you have a 60% on Rotten Tomatoes for a movie that was, well, essentially to sell toys, this is not bad. That means...
I think that's a kind of a miracle.
True that. But that means that this movie was... How do I put this? They put in a lot of effort into it. Because, how do I put this? We have the original cast coming back. We have the original team that created the cartoons. And
coming back. It's not like they left from... okay,
yeah,
I know what you mean.
But still, like, the thing is, this movie was what fans wanted. It was an extension of the show, but what fans didn't want was the human aspect of this. So...
no, you are wrong. You are
really?
wrong.
No, nobody wants
I'm going to correct you right now. One of the first pieces of fan art that came out on the internet when My Little Pony became popular was humanization of the main 6. And Hasbro, because they have the guy with the charts, saying, okay, the chart says that the fans like to have humanized characters, stories that are related to, and because of all the fans that we are making this study based on, they are teenagers, so they have to be taking place in high school. And yeah, we're going to market it like this. And what is our primary market that we're failing against? The Monster High dolls. We're gonna make Equestria Girls dolls. Yeah, they're gonna be humans. Okay, let's go do this. That's basically it. Andy Price was asked this I think it was at San Diego Comic Con 2014, and when somebody asked him something related to Equestria Girls, he said, that movie is your fault, guys, because Hasbro was looking at fan art and they saw all the humanized ponies that you guys were doing, so they decided to make it humans, because it's what you guys seem to like, and then you guys go and hate it.
Well, I think that's because fandoms, when you put an idea out in a fandom, it's part of the fandom. No one expects it to really become official or influence the show. Mm-hmm. So when they start thinking this, you're like, guys, we're the fans. We write crappy fanfics.
But, Silver, with you there, Adventure Time had a gender swap character, like Finn the human, there's Fiona the human, and that started off because of the fandoms, and the show creator just ran with it. So
I've not watched Adventure Time. I am not qualified to comment.
Yeah, but that was pretty good. So we had that. And I don't know, it's kind of a hit and miss when it comes to show creators taking something from the fandom or being influenced by the fandom. But
Sonic fandom! I'm sorry.
But also, ask yourself, the humans that fans drew of pony versions, they were proportional for the most part, had some meat on their bones, and didn't look like they'd fall over or break in half in a strong wind.
You tell me about it. I hate the Equestria Girls proportions. You know that, Silver.
Yes. So here, I could accept the idea that, yeah, we may have brought this on ourselves unintentionally. Fair enough. But I think the fans put in more effort to designing, and there is a danger in letting the fandom dictate content, because fans don't always know what they want.
True.
Of course they don't.
We do write bad fanfics. We do have bad ideas.
True.
Have you checked my DeviantArt? It's full of bad ideas.
Oh, God.
It is something that is worthy of discussion. It's like the motivation behind Hasbro making this movie and why they're making that. I will mention something later if the Crystal Empire comes back into conversation. But let's keep moving forward, because then we have one of the coolest moments of the entire movie. I know it's stupid to say this, but it's the intro. I really like that animation that they made.
The intro for this one reminds me of Alex S's My Little Pony opening theme remix. I don't know why, but it just does.
It's fun, it's lighthearted, it's energetic. And the visuals, I mean, just seeing the characters' silhouettes doing their daily thing. It's enjoyable. And then, of course, people have said, well, they spoiled the movie by having this. It's like, guys, that's not even a Shyamalan twist.
Yeah.
That's on the poster.
Yeah, that's true.
The movie is called Equestria Girls. What more?
Nah.
Well, what they didn't spoil was the appearance of Flash.
Oh, Johnny. Hooray.
I was kind of glad that they did give credit properly to the voice actors. I mean, how many other movies, animated movies, start giving you the names of the voice actors and actresses that are going to perform these characters? I think this is one of the few. I'm trying to think of other movies that have done something like that, but I cannot think of any for the life of me. Not even Disney films do that. Not even DreamWorks movies with their celebrity struck casts do that.
I don't remember. Probably there are, but we need to double check. But continue on with this movie. The princesses meet, they talk, and Twilight is sent to bed.
I know Celestia is the mother figure of Equestria, but it's hard to call Twilight amongst peers when she's getting sent to bed. All she needs is to ask Celestia to read her a bedtime story.
This one bothers me a bit in terms of, why are you even there, Twilight? Like, I know that we don't really need to bother the viewers with an additional plotline to the Princess Summit. We don't really need to focus that, but we really want your focus to be more on the Equestria Girls team thingy. But this is just downplaying Twilight's role.
It's a teenager. She's a teenager. She's been sent to bed because in a couple of minutes she's going to turn into a prepubescent teenager.
This also bothers me in terms of how old is Twilight?
Yeah, because in the show they could be like in their 30s, maybe, perhaps older.
20s to higher, because, well...
Between 20s to 30s. I think Applejack will be well over her 30s. I mean, come on, businessman.
She's younger, like, probably around her mid-20s. She's just hardened because of all the things that she went through.
Here's my thing. In some ways, the age isn't as important as the titles. I don't know, that sounds strange. Have I ever mentioned Carl Jung before? I think I have.
Carl Jung, yeah, huh?
Jung. Yeah, you have mentioned him a couple of times.
Well, I stick to it, and I really should just make a video about this because I harp on it so much. Some people believe that archetypes meant to reflect stages of development. Celestia was originally meant to be Queen Celestia. Hasbro put the kibosh on that because Princess sells better. Yeah. She would have been Queen Celestia, and the Queen is the mother figure, the archetype, the leader. It's not every little girl wants to be a princess, it's that every princess is supposed to represent little girls. Twilight, as a princess, could be young, learning the ropes, but by making everyone a princess, equal title, you're implying that they are of equal status. And they're not. Celestia is the ruler. There's no question of that. She is the ultimate authority in this land. I wish they'd own that. I'm kind of sorry they didn't name her queen, just to remove any ambiguity here.
The whole fact that Disney put the whole stigma of queens being evil characters was kind of their fault, but I think they're progressing now.
Disney is fixing that right now. Look at Frozen.
Yeah, but just one movie, so we need to see what they come up next.
No, but it's a very forward move for Disney. That is such a conservative institution that now they are even willing to take that step forward and say, yeah, no, we're not going to do the evil queen, evil thing anymore. So in this regard, Hasbro feels like the kid that is late to the party, and he arrives talking like making 80s references and quoting 90s memes. So it's like, guys, did you hear about Trogdor? He's so cool, Trogdor! And you're like,
James,
oh god,
we'll soon do that. We'll soon do the same thing too, man. We'll soon do.
People are already doing that. Look at what happened with the Rickroll. I mean, come on.
God,
no. No, that's how sometimes it feels like with Hasbro. Is that they are getting late to the party. They're getting late to the celebration.
Yeah, but I'm gonna jump ahead a few scenes and introduce Sunset. Yay, Sunset comes in, steal the crown.
Steal the crown. And here's the thing, I'm just going to say this about Sunset for the whole movie, because really it's summed up with this. She's your stereotypical mean girl.
Mm-hmm.
But everything fascinating about her is how she redefines the other characters. For Twilight, she is a foil. She is what Twilight could be, in a sense, if she were a little less noble, a little less generous.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
She's the dark part of the princess archetype. For Celestia, Sunset Shimmer is proof that Celestia is imperfect. She made a bad call on a student. She either failed Sunset or Sunset was just not a good choice to begin with. Now, Celestia says, I tried to help her, but you're like, Celestia, your track record is not looking so good. Your sister Phil, it's like Twilight's like third time this the charm. So far, Celestia's 1 for 3 in terms of helping out here.
Here's something interesting that I noticed where, in the IDW My Little Pony comic annual, they kind of introduce or kind of explain certain aspects of Sunset Shimmer, like how she was. And technically, she was an overachiever like Twilight. She was good at magic. But the only difference is that she kind of pushed her a bit too late in terms of finding friends and getting to know people. And Sunset Shimmer was kind of really ambitious.
See, the thing is, I read that comic as well, but I felt like Sunset was just as she was in the movie. There was nothing to really flesh out why she was so hard on herself, why she was so driven. It's just mean for mean's sake. And people might argue, well, there are people in life who are just that way and you never know why. True. But in a fictional world, in a scripted universe, there is a desire to know, to flesh out that character, to explore the reasons. And we haven't gotten that. I will say I like Sunset Shimmer a lot more in Rainbow Rocks and probably in friendship games.
You know what to do with that big fat butt. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Tall now to any hate, 'cause best friends stick together. We love and tolerate. My Little Pony. I used to wonder what friendship could be. My Little Pony. Until you shared its magic with me. If one falls down.
Hello everyone and welcome to the MBS Show Reviews. This is James Cork and with me I have Norman Sansel.
Hello.
And Lycan.
Hello there, everyone.
And last but not least, Silverquill.
Will someone please explain the hippie movement to me?
I got no idea, my friend.
We can blame Richard Nixon for that.
And you can blame me because I have said it's cool if we roll our R's.
Right.
Oh my god! And for rolling the R's, today we are going to be reviewing the third of the micro series. Okay, this is getting ridiculous. The third of the micro series, which is Best Ponies, Best Pony, because Best Ponies, Best Pony, Best Pony, Best Pony. James Cork has found an error. Please try to reboot it and try again.
Basically, what he's saying
And he's
is
still rolling his R's.
we're going to review the Rarity Micro. Sorry, Rarity Micro.
Yeah, I'm back. That's the key word. You just woke me up. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
You can say that I am biased towards this one, but oh my god. Okay, so yeah, we're going to be reviewing the Rarity Micro, written by Andy Price and Katie Cook. Written by Katie Cook and drawn by Andy Price. I'm already derping. This is amazing.
Yay.
And my gosh, I don't know where to start with this one. We can right away say that for this story, this wasn't the original idea for it.
Oh, really? No, that I do not know.
Yes, it wasn't. The original premise for the Rarity Micro was Rarity Takes Manhattan, actually.
Oh, really now?
Was it?
Yes. Yeah, it was. According to Katie Cook, she sent the premise to Hasbro, and they said, well, you see, that one is too close to one of the episodes that we're doing for season 4.
Oh.
You're going to have to rewrite it and send us something else. And she went like, okay, no problem. And then she sent the new synopsis, and that's the one that we got in the comics.
Huh. Nice.
She wasn't allowed to say that. She dropped that piece of knowledge in last year's San Diego Comic Con, in 2013 San Diego Comic Con. And she said she couldn't talk about it because season 4 wasn't out yet. So when it finally was out, she said, yeah, this week's episode, this is the one that I sent to Hasbro. but they said, nope, we're doing this.
First dibs, no.
So yeah, and what is this comic's premise, you may ask? Well, Rarity is so stressed after doing one of her fashion lines that she decides to take a leave and go to the countryside to relax. Problem is that she ends up going into a hippie colony where she discovers that manual labor might not be the best source of stress relief. However, she quickly realizes that the manual labor that she's been doing in the farm has actually been producing some of the best beauty products that she has ever tested in her life. So she discovers that the hippies need her help in order to keep the farm going, or else the Flim Flam brothers, I hate those guys, are going to take over the farm, and they're going to like join forces with Filthy Rich, apparently. That part isn't completely explained, but here comes Rarity to save the day and get the farm out of the dumps. And hey, her marketing techniques and her business model works out to the point that the hippies actually become more popular than Rarity. But everybody's happy, the situation is solved, and Rarity proves to be best pony once again because she's best pony, and best pony is best pony, best pony, best pony. Anyway, and there you go.
Fun fact about this comic, in a fandom point of view, Chef Sandy from Bronyville changed favorite pony because of this comic.
Yeah.
Really?
It's because it's a good comic, isn't it?
Yep. I almost changed mine. Like, this comic is good.
And yet this comic also made me give up on the idea of Spike and Rarity.
Oh my.
Because of...
No, maybe not this comic, but the 2-page mini story that came after.
Yeah.
Which is my god, yes.
Which is not included in the collection book for some reason.
Really, no.
Yeah, the short stories were left out of the collections, I think.
That's why I don't have it and haven't read it.
Curiosity, but it's a fascinating. It kind of embodies everything IDW does right and everything Spike does wrong.
Okay.
I must admit, at first I did not like the comic.
Oh, really? No.
Yeah. I just found it too detached from Rarity. I just couldn't get into it initially. And then as I kept reading and getting into it, I was like, it's actually something that would actually happen.
I think I felt the same way before. But seeing like how I knew the ending and how I knew the whole story, it didn't bother me that much. Like what you said, to me, this is an awesome book or a comic, and it has a lot of morals and lesson to be learned here. Like, yeah, it's all corporate near the end, but because of those reasonings and how things are work, we kind of understand. Certain things need to cost more because of certain things that happen because of how things are made. That's why a bottle of their cream, which they sell for $4, they have to sell it at $80 just because they need to make a profit.
Oh yeah, it's a fantastic example of quality over quantity. It's a great message, and I'm glad that they highlighted that.
What they are doing is basically what every single artist has to do sooner or later. In that they are afraid of raising the prices because they think that's going to take business away, because they cannot tell the worth of what they are producing. I was very attached to Rarity during the entire comic because, of course, she's my favorite and all that. But I was also very attached to the hippies because it's like, these guys are really good at something, but they are afraid of like overpricing it because they don't want to scare the clients away. They don't want to lose business. But Rarity is there to give them confidence, to tell them, no, darling, your products are amazing. Like, this will go way more expensive in Manhattan. Like, if you put them this price, they're going to be way cheaper than what they are selling over there. You will have enough money to save the farm. And it's like, it takes an outsider to help them see that they are actually not overpricing, they are underpricing. It's so good. And that's Rarity's doing right there.
True.
Oh yeah, that outlines the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
True.
I mean, initially when you think about it, they were actually selling from their little stand on the side of the road,
Oh,
and it
yeah.
took Rarity to come along and say, all right, pack up all your stuff, we're going to Canterlot, we're going to charge 80 bits for this, and yeah, so that's what she actually brought to it.
And talking about price, I remember a show, it's a cooking show or a show about food, and one of the chef, he's a professional, he goes to kitchens that are broken down and help them get back up to business.
Are you talking about Kitchen Nightmares with Gordon Ramsay?
No, remember, it's Kitchen Impossible. But anyhow, what I remember was he said this: how much is this? Like, basically, how much was this made for? Technically $5. Now you need to times 3 that just to make a profit. So knowing that and comparing to this, it does make sense. But anyhow, Silver, what about you? You haven't talked much.
Well, I kind of wanted to go start to finish on this comic.
All right.
So, because Rarity is such an interesting character, when the show started, I thought, okay, I'm going to tolerate her. Because in any other show, she would be the bad guy.
True.
Yes.
She's prim, proper, obsessed with fashion, and somehow a lot of writers think, okay, that's the qualities of a bad person or pony. So, but no, Rarity has won over a lot of the fandom just by showing you can be feminine and like clothing and fashion and looking pretty and still be, that is a good choice. If that's who you want to be, there's nothing wrong with that. And she won me over because I thought, oh God, an episode about dresses suited for success. I'm going to be bored of my mind. No, it's a story about a stressed out worker dealing with difficult clients. Oh, my sister, how are you?
That was the moment where you realize, oh God, you're so relatable.
And Rarity just continues to win me over. For a brief period, she almost supplanted Twilight in my top 3. Mostly because poor Twilight didn't get to do much during season 4. But then Twilight's Kingdom kind of got her back on top just barely. But Rarity is one of my favorite characters, and this comic is my favorite of the micros.
Oh, true.
It is. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, it's up is down, left is right, black is white, and man dies at a zebra crossing. I mean, Cook and Price are this great combo for slice of life. The artwork is so beautiful and crisp. They throw in so many background jokes. This is the comic that introduced Sweet Cream Scoops, Big Macintosh's stalker.
Yep.
In the same panel where Fluttershy is facing the 2 wild and crazy guys from Saturday Night Live. Once again, the comics add real characters to Equestria with flaxseed and wheatgrass, and all the hippie ponies that go with it. Which they're probably the best and most fun characters that IDW has introduced in the entire comic line.
Like, I totally agree.
Whoa,
they have a poster of Celestia. They have a poster of Celestia Superstar in the background of their house. That is priceless. Oh my God!
And on the topic you guys say about Rarity introducing capitalism, a lot of people fault this comic for that Rarity is enlightening the ignorant hippies. And yet there's a line that I think counters that argument, where Rarity says, first and foremost, we will never compromise the integrity of your product. It will remain all natural. And she streamlines it so that the ponies are not battling uphill. This is not converting them to pure capitalism, because that would involve, doing things cheap. This is her bringing common sense to their morals and following best practices. And it's part of the reason I don't get the hippie movement is that I can't really say what they accomplished. This seems to be the compromise. You get something done, but you don't let go of what your core values.
It's kind of funny how people very easily throw the word capitalism and they don't even care about checking the meaning. they just go ahead and say, "Oh, capitalism," and I'm like, "No, that's not capitalism. You have no idea what you're talking about." If anything, Rarity knows where the quality of the product comes from. It comes from the fact that it's all natural made, that it doesn't have additives or whatever. So it's the first thing she says. It's not. It's like with the Winter Wrap-Up episode. Bureaucracy is better than anything else. No, it's not. It's just organization skills. Any person with common sense has those. It's not bureaucracy.
And the thing is, when I look at this, it's basically doing things the streamlined way. As, like you said with this one, you have a product. You need to sell it off. But the way you're doing it is not getting you any profit. It's making you lose profit. So how does one make profit? Like, okay, we do this, we do that, and change this and change that. But in essence, the whole product itself has not been changed. It's the marketing strategy that's changed.
It's also the fact that Rarity learns to speak their language. So throughout...
She learns what a hammer is.
Yeah.
She learns what a hammer is.
Yes. Oh, it's the nail thingy that Applejack usually has one like those.
So you can actually see them disjointed at the beginning, and then as the comic goes along, Rarity learns to be like, oh, I can appreciate their ways and their methods and their styles, and actually tries to incorporate that into her message that she puts back to them.
Rarity is a character that she always starts with a flaw, be it being she's self-centered, she wants to get someone else's attention, she wants to get the attention for herself. But then throughout the story, and usually with a lot of losing her pretty looks, because let's face it, there is nothing more enjoyable than seeing Rarity covered in mud from head to hoof. Okay, she ends up learning her lesson, and that's the best part, is that she learns her lesson, but she learns it by working towards it. She's not like, they don't force it upon her. She drives herself into it, in like, oh, I didn't know that you actually had to suffer for... Like, she's like, I know that you have to suffer for your looks, but I didn't ever see it like this. And, yeah, like, she was doing the beauty products that she was getting dirty on and everything.
I mean, that's a good lesson, because the thing is, okay, here's an example. We see our mother cook every day, like pasta or rice and whatever it is. She cooks it, but we eat it and we enjoyed it, but we got no idea how it was made. But us learning how it was made and doing it ourselves, we appreciate it even more. And when we taste it, like, it's not the best, but I made this and I know what goes through it, and I appreciate it now. This is a good example of suffering for beauty or suffering for your art, or whatever James said just now.
And it's also an example of a line of comedy that was only just recently expounded upon by a certain pony. That a very prim and proper and proud pony is all the more comedic when they become flustered.
Yes. Yes. It is... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
And the Rarity Jimmy wrestling counter is high in this comic.
Oh, it is. It so is. From waking up super early to getting covered in grape juice and all that. It's just so... It's so good. Like... I never hide the fact that one of my favorite things is when they make the pretty girl all dirty and like uncouth and all that. So anytime Rarity suffers like that, I enjoy it a lot. But it's like, I enjoy it because I know Rarity is gonna be able to pull through out of that situation. She's like, yeah, she's going to get dirty and all that, but she's going to come out be more beautiful than ever, because she's going to come out a better person. Better pony in this case.
Yeah, and the ending for this one is poor Rarity. Just poor Rarity.
I like it how it's not about Rarity being beautiful. It's about Rarity making them beautiful.
Yes. Yeah, it's about Rarity sacrificing her the spotlight for a moment and just giving it to them, even though it still stings.
But you know what? The point of the matter is Rarity helps someone to get fame or to get their product well known, and in the end she got what she wanted to begin with, which was sell her clothing and make a buck out of it, make a profit out of it. Like even the line here says, you should be happy too. Your fashion show was a complete success. Spike took down so many orders we ran out of parchment. So, yay for her.
Also, in the previous panel, they flat out state you're the best pony. So there, I trust that debate is now concluded. Although there's a typo there, they should have written Fluttershy.
Where was it again?
Best Pony Wars.
It's on now.
That's it. Where is my rarity plushie that is bigger than an Xbox 360? I'm going to beat you with it. No, it's going to hurt. Anyway, is Andy Price and Katie Cook. Their favorite characters to draw and to work with are Rarity and Princess Luna. And they have said this. Like Andy Price said that his favorite thing to draw is Princess Luna. And they took upon themselves to work on both the Rarity micro and the Princess Luna micro, and it shows. Like there is passion, love, care, and attention in every single frame, every single panel, every single picture drawn in this comic. In that, the facial expressions that they give to Rarity, from when she's super happy, determined, to when she's desperate and like absolutely angry, like the panel where she's looking at the cow's udders. Oh my God. That is the face of I am tired of this. It's so funny.
And you mustn't forget the panel where Applejack is wearing the face mask.
Oh yeah.
With all the mud on it.
The art of the dress with Tara Strong's character in the background.
Oh yes, that's right. We see her. We see Tara's OC in there. Yeah. There are a couple of references to Fringe as well.
And that's the strength of Cook and Price's work, is that they really make a world. I mean, you scan the background, and sure, the background is full of references, pop culture hints, but it really makes everything more vibrant. I mean, what was it? The second page of the comic, just where they appear at the after party, there are at least 10 things going on in that background. Yeah. Or, in fact, the foreground, actually. Rarity and Twilight are in the background. All that stuff is going on. And when I look at the other micros, I'm not saying they're bad artwork, but none of them have that vitality. They sort of draw the bare minimum of characters.
Another thing
that the universe that Andy Price and Katie they work together in, it feels alive. It like getting through one of their comics takes longer than with the usual, because you can stop in a panel for like 5 solid minutes just admiring all the detail, looking at all the different shout outs, see if they put a reference in there, reading like when there is the ones that kill me are the ones that take place in a library, because you are likely going to spend 10 minutes reading every single one of the book covers, and they will put the titles of the books on the covers, on the sides, and they will have references to everything. The same with the bar scene and all the other things that the main 6 are doing and the other background characters are doing. It's so it beams with
awesomeness.
Not just that, but live. It feels alive. It feels like it could be real.
One thing I haven't mentioned yet from even the previous comic was the paneling in Andy Price and Katie Cook's book. They're really good, especially in this one. When you move on to a page, like page number 9, one of the panels is literally a peace symbol, and they use that to their advantage. That is so cool.
Oh yeah, I love that peace symbol.
And in the panel where they are being chased by bees, they angle the panel to create a greater sense of motion.
Yep.
Yeah, it is visually stimulating. It catches your eye. It draws you in, but the best part is that it never feels over the top, and it never feels like it's lackluster, lackluster or out of place. It feels right. Like it has the perfect amount of crazy in it, and the perfect amount of kinetic in it that like it draws you in with the way that it's paneled, the way that it's edited, the way that it's put together. Please, somebody stop me. I cannot stop saying good things about this comic.
No.
I don't know what is wrong with
I agree with you, James. I agree with you. Like, I enjoy this comic, and I don't feel what you're saying is not appropriate. Like, to me, this comic is good in the way that, in every little detail, like paneling, wording, coloring, and lining. It's all those kind of scenes. Like, for example, if you take a look-see at page number 18, the way that the panel looks, in an amateur way, this does not work, but somehow they make it work.
I'm going off the trade back, so I don't know which is page 18.
It's literally the one where Rarity is teaching them about how to start business, like with flax and wheat, all natural beauty kind of deal. Like they're showing the whole group, like, gather around every pony. We have a plan on how to save the farm. That scene.
Oh, okay.
So, if you take a look-see at that is already amazing on its own.
And on the previous page, you have Rarity's Rarity.
Yeah,
standing there in all her brilliance.
Because she's best pony, of course. Because no.
I'd just like to comment on the pacing as well.
Mm-hmm.
At no point was it too fast. At no point was it too slow. It drew you along. It made you want to read the next panel to see what was going on, what was going to happen. It didn't jump around. It had a very nice flow to it from start to finish.
No, I totally
also,
agree.
may
agree.
I didn't say anything about the characters, but I have to bring up the characters are so likable. Like not just Rarity, who's likable on her own right, but I mean, both hippie ponies that I forgot their names. God, I want to call them their real names.
Flaxseed and Wheatgrass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Flaxseed and Wheatgrass. They are so likable and they are so cool. Like you root for them because they are good ponies.
Oh, true.
They have good intentions. They want to save the farm. They want to keep it moving forward. And I'm like, this is so relatable. Like, this is for coming from someone who had to do a couple of charity streams in order to save the house from being taken by the banks due to mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
I can totally relate to these guys. Like, I can see the desperation. I can see their fear. I can see why, like, the whole, he's always watching. That's very funny, but that's something that happens in real life, and it feels so good to have that sort of comedic relief. And, that, like, it gets to fuel you to say, look, if these stoners could get through it, like, you can. And they are such good characters, well written, very good designs. Like, I was expecting Flax to annoy me because of the like I loved using like all the time, but he doesn't get that great. He actually gets really funny. Whoa, anger.
At no point are they ever portrayed as stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's the thing about him.
Flax is kind of stupid.
He has that kind of like he's a mix between the Big Lebowski, the dude, and Shaggy from Scooby Doo.
To me,
he's that kind of guy.
To me, I felt more of Shaggy really than the Lebowski. One thing to mention about what Lycan said about pacing. This book has 31 pages, and the Rainbow Dash has 25. And to me, reading Rainbow Dash was, why is this taking so long?
The world united in meh.
Yep.
Should try reading the Fluttershy one.
Oh God!
Started.
I don't want to get to that one. Believe me, I don't want to get to that one.
Well, that's the next micro we're going to cover. So
I think that is the one where our positivity is just going to go poof out the window.
We'll see. We'll see. Because to me, out of the main 6, that's my number 3 or number 4. Yeah, my number 4. To me, it's not as bad as Applejack and Rainbow Dash. So, yay.
You're going to be so alone. There you go. You're going to be so alone.
But But with Flaxseed, I at first I found him kind of grating, just because of the likes and the he's at first he is the hippie stereotype, stupid, probably on several substances that shouldn't be taken alone, let alone mixed. but then they come clean about how they're going to lose the farm, and there's this great image. It's the same page where Rarity talks about suffering for beauty. On the very first panel, Wheatgrass is hugging him, and he looks to be consoling her, and for a minute there, he's serious.
Yeah. I'm seeing it now.
Then he follows up by calling the Ponyville the suburbs. Yeah. But for that moment, it's like, okay, there's a character here. He's got quirks, but he is a real character. He's not
He's relatable.
He's not thrown in just to be the comedic relief. Ironically, it's kind of like the snowman from Frozen. You think you're going to hate it. But he wins you over. Although, if we are in danger of being too positive, then it's time I tackle the one thing that irked me in this comic.
Ooh.
All right.
Yes, let's go. Let's go for it.
Well, first off, I guess Rarity kind of set herself up when Applejack recommended the beauty spa. Applejack.
I don't blame Applejack for that one, or I don't blame Rarity for that one. It's like, Rarity, you know what kind of magazines Applejack reads, right? So, yeah. Oh, by the way, fun fact. The book that Applejack is reading correlates to the special ending that is in the normal book.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
And
he's reading like a pony version of the Forbes magazine with turnip. It's a turnip truck.
So, and since it was not included, which I don't really understand, I guess I need to summarize, especially for Lycan if you've not read it. Do you remember Hayseed Turnip? He was in Sweet and Elite, the hick pony that was cleaning windows. So he's like, hey, Rarity, let's run pretty hat.
Yeah.
They took, this is what IDW, and especially Cook and Price, do so well. They took that one-shot character, who's completely forgettable aside from his hick traits, and they made him a sympathetic character who was fleshed out. It turns out that, one, Hayseed has had a crush on Rarity since they were foals. He has been working his whole life to be worthy of her. He's found his own business, gets an office in Canterlot, I believe. And as he is on the cover of the book, Norman pointed out, he has a business suit, combed back hair. He's still got the buck teeth, but ain't what you're going to do. So he gets tickets for Rarity's fashion show at the end, brings flowers, is all set to win her over. Spike tells him that she's got a boyfriend. He steals the flowers, and as Hayseed leaves in tears, Spike takes the flowers to go make a move on Rarity himself. It's 12 panels long, 2 pages. And it tore my heart. I feel so bad for him. Why am I feeling bad for this character? I feel so bad for this guy, and I'm loathing Spike right now.
Yeah, I agree. Spike here right now is the villain of Hayseed's life. He is the one who's at every turn trying so hard to ruin his life.
And Spike manages to hurt Hayseed, Rarity, and himself with that move because we know that Spike's not going to succeed. At least not in that case. And no disrespect to Rarity and Spike fans, the Sparity shippers. This was the comic where it's Spike would do something like that in the show. Which kind of says he's not mature enough yet. It's probably not a good thing for him to hook up with Rarity. I never got fixated on age difference. But now's not the time. I really can't see this ship happening.
Yeah.
And if Spike's actually going to push away potential good matches for Rarity, then Houston, we have a problem.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just in the comic books. And like James always says, comic tier 2 canon. So who knows?
Yeah. But it seems to fit with Spike's character, which is the concern.
Spike he has always been very immature. He has always been the fact that he actually, you know what? I have never seen Spike flaunting over Rarity when it's not about looks. It is like, I have never seen him admire Rarity for what she does or for what she stands for. Not just the whole, you know, oh, she looks pretty, she's so beautiful, oh my god, she's the most beautiful unicorn in the planet. I cannot wait to hook up with her or something. No, Spike is always about, oh, she's so pretty, oh, she's so beautiful, oh, she's gorgeous. It's never, oh, she has such a mind for business, or like, she's so smart, or she's so clever, or she's so talented. Look at all these beautiful dresses that she makes and all that. It's like, Spike, you do realize that she has a lot more than just looks going on for her, right?
True.
So yeah, in that regard, I think Spike is definitely not mature enough to be a good match for Rarity. Not only because he's still a baby dragon, guys, but because he doesn't have the mindset for it.
Not yet. He's got to get older.
Yeah, he has to get older.
Honestly speaking, I'm one of those Spike Rarity shippers. I do enjoy their ship. I've been reading there's a Flash comic on DeviantArt, if you guys notice on
Sort of. More pleasant than fun, I guess.
Something odd about that staff. I haven't studied Eastern unicorns as much as I should have, but I'm pretty sure Meadowbrook only had 8 magical items, not 9, and I don't remember any of them being a staff.
Well, it looks like you'll have plenty of time to try to think about it.
Difference is frustration. To excel is to fail. Be your best by never being your best. Conformity will set you free. Accept your limitations, and happiness will follow. You're no better than your friends.
I've got it! I know how we can get out.
Forget it, Twilight. This door's not opening. And I'm afraid the windows are much too small for escape.
But there is a third way.
Of course! Eventually the wind and weather will wear down the walls until they start to crumble. Then all we have to do is wait for a big enough hole to form and we can just walk out! It's the perfect plan! I guess.
We don't actually have to escape. They'll just let us out when they think we've accepted their philosophy.
But they're never gonna believe we switched over in just one night.
There's one of us they might believe.
Me? You've been saying how great this place is since we got here. Well, that's because every pony's so nice and their village is so pretty and... Oh, you're right. They probably would believe me. I hate to lie to them. They've been so welcoming and friendly. Aside from locking us in here and trying to brainwash us into abandoning the things that make us special. Okay, I'll do it. I mean, cool. But what do I do once I'm out?
You've got to find a way to get our cutie marks back.
Oh, good morning.
I trust you had a pleasant night. This way, please. There are some friends who would like to see you. Gather round, friends, gather round. We've come to ask if any of you are ready to join us. There are so many friends to be made once you realize you don't need your cutie marks or the talents that come with them.
We have a welcome ceremony for new friends. The whole village joins together to build you your own cottage.
Not interested. You may have them now, but we're going to get our cutie marks back.
Y'all don't understand, do ya? You can't force no pony to be friends. It don't work like that.
Please, join us.
We love new friends. It's all right, every pony. This is a perfectly normal part of the equalization process for those who haven't quite seen the light yet. We'll try again tomorrow, once you've had a bit more time to consider our philosophy.
I'd like to join.
Fluttershy? How could you?
If giving up my cutie mark means I get to stay in this lovely village with these lovely ponies, then I'll do it.
We have a new friend, every pony! There's one more order of business. It seems some in our midst might be dissatisfied with the village life. Unfortunately, it's all too true, my friends. Will you kindly tell us the names of those friends who so desperately miss their cutie marks that they would sneak around in the shadows talking to strangers about it? Just so we can be sure your intentions are indeed pure.
I don't know who they were. I'm sorry. I don't know your names and faces yet.
Nonsense! Obviously, these ponies must have asked you directly. Kindly point them out.
It was me! It was only me! I only wanted it back for a little while.
And you're quite certain it was only you?
I just wanted to remember what it was like.
And no thought to the pain you cause your friends. Such selfishness.
I'm sorry, every pony. I never wanted to leave the village. I love all of... What was I thinking? I can't believe I even considered asking for my cutie mark back.
Don't worry. Fluttershy will have us out of here in no time.
Didn't you see what just happened out there? Your friend has accepted our way. You will all accept our way. It's only a matter of time.
This guy's a barrel of laughs.
Laughs don't come in barrels. They come from inside you as your body's response to delight.
So what are we gonna do while Fluttershy's out there looking for our cutie marks?
We have to stay as positive as we can. If Party Favor sees how much we really do like each other, even though we're all different, maybe we can use him to spread our message to the rest of the village.
To excel is to fail.
Let's just hope they don't convert any of us first.
Welcome!
Welcome!
Welcome.
Gosh, you really are the nicest ponies I've ever met.
Come, all new friends stay with me until their cottage is completed. Let's get you settled, and then you can enjoy all that our little village has to offer.
Get the cutie marks back. That's all you've got to do, Fluttershy. Just sneak through the dark up to that spooky old cave with the scary magical staff and get the cutie marks back. Okay, you're doing great. The cave's gotta be close now.
Excellent work, Double Diamond.
Of course. But I don't understand why you wanted me to bring them here. Fluttershy is one of us now. Surely she can be trusted.
This one belongs to a princess. It could be very important to our cause.
But if Twilight Sparkle becomes our friend, then what do we care about this old cutie mark?
I just want to keep them close until everything is settled. You may go, Double Diamond.
Oh dear, how am I ever gonna get the cutie marks back now? Ow!
Starlight, you clumsy fool! I've got a good feeling about today. So, do any of you have anything you'd like to say? Oh, a pity. Oh, let's try this again tomorrow, shall we? No new friends today, I'm afraid.
Wait! I'd like to lock them in.
Marvelous, Fluttershy! That's the spirit! Party Favor, will you join us, please?
I'm sorry, Starlight. I'm sorry, every pony. I've seen the error of my ways. I never want to look at my cutie mark again.
It seems there's cause for celebration after all!
They tried to break me. They wouldn't stop talking about how different they are, and that somehow makes their friendship stronger.
Such backwards thinking.
But I didn't listen. I knew what they were up to, and I didn't listen.
Well done, Party Favor. We welcome you back with open hooves.
Starlight? I think we might have one more friend joining us today.
Is this true?
I think so, but I just want to be sure. If I agree to leave my cutie mark in the vault, I'll really be happier?
Just look around. Equality has given us more happiness than you've ever known.
And you wouldn't let me just live here in the village with my old cutie mark?
Out of the question. A pony with a different cutie mark in our midst would destroy our entire philosophy. We are all equal here.
And how do you explain this?
I knew you couldn't be trusted. No! Get away! What are you looking at? They're the problem, not me.
How could you? You said cutie marks were evil. You said special talents led to pain and heartache.
They do, don't you see? Look at them.
Then why? Why did you take ours and not give up your own?
I had to, you fools! How can I collect your cutie marks without my magic? But the staff has all the magic we need! The staff is a piece of wood I found in the desert. It's my magic that makes all this possible. You'd all still be living your miserable lives thinking you're better than every pony else if it weren't for my magical abilities. I brought you friendship. I brought you equality. I created harmony!
You lied to us!
So what? Everything else I said is true. The only way to be happy is if we're all equal.
Except for you.
Every pony has unique talents and gifts. And when we share them with each other, that's how we...
Quiet!
You can't have that cutie mark, Starlight. Either we're all equal, or none of us are.
Come on! Let's get our cutie marks back!
Come on! Let's go get our cutie marks! Our cutie marks aren't in the vault. They're in there. With her.
Stand back, every pony!
Even without my cutie mark, I can tell this is beautiful. They think they can come to my village and disrupt my life? Let's see how they like spending the rest of their lives without their precious cutie marks.
Stand back, everybody! They're gone. They were right over there.
She's headed for the pass! If she makes it into those mountains, we'll never find her!
These are amazing! There's a whole network of caves up there. Your cutie marks will be gone forever.
Then let's get moving, y'all.
Oh, come on!
strangers!
We gave up everything for you because we thought you were our friend. I can't believe we have to count on these other ponies to save our cutie marks.
If we hadn't come here to help them, they'd still be living under her rules. Now it's their turn to help us.
And I know they can do it. My newest recipe, Snow Pop. She's gonna get away.
Whoa! These are my old skis! This is where I first met Starlight.
Maybe you can reminisce another time. She's almost to the caves.
Feel like an airdrop?
Yeehaw! Finally, I can buck like a 5-inch snake herder in an Appaloosa ranch house again.
And you got your countryisms back, too.
I studied that spell for years! How can you?
I studied magic for years too. But what I didn't know then was that studying could only take me so far. Each of my friends has taught me something different about myself. It was their unique gifts and passions and personalities that helped bring out the magic inside of me. I never would have learned that I represent the element of magic without these 5. And I certainly wouldn't be here to stop you now.
Spare me your sentimental nonsense. I gave these ponies real friendships they never could have had otherwise.
How do you know that? You never even gave us a chance!
She's getting away!
We'll never find her in there!
We just have to hope that when she's had a chance to think it over, she realizes that you all have taught her something.
It's you who have taught us something. We all came to this village because we were searching for something missing from our lives. We thought Starlight had given it to us. But now it seems it was in front of us all along. It's us.
Does that mean you'll stay in the village?
It's our home. I'm not going anywhere.
This is a chance for all of us to get to know each other again for the very first time.
And I finally have a chance to bake something besides terrible muffins. Now those are real smiles.
I'll never get used to that.
I think it's divine. Does that mean the map is calling us somewhere else?
I have a feeling it means our work here is done.
Looks like you were right, Twilight. The map did have a reason for sending us here. We brought real friendship to these here ponies. Guess that's why you're the princess of friendship.
But the map didn't send me, it sent us. You're a part of me, all of you. And there's no doubt you're a part of my mission to spread friendship too.
This feels like an ending. It doesn't have to be an ending yet, right? Because that sugar bell can bake!
Maybe we can stay a little while longer. Come on.
Phew! Thanks for helping me get them so fresh and clean, Twilight.
No problem. Happy to do it.
You probably can't wait to get back to your castle and take your own bath, huh?
Aren't there more animals that need cleaning?
I think you and I are the only ones left. And I can't wait to get the mud out of my mane.
Oh no! Angel got dirty. I'd better stay longer to help give him a bath too.
Thank you ever so much for staying to give Angel a bath too. But, I think he's dry. Goodness, it's gotten late. You really didn't have to stay all day. Not that we don't appreciate it. Isn't that right? I, for one, am exhausted. Plus, I really need to rest up for that big pancake breakfast tomorrow. And I'm sure you have to get the castle ready.
No, the castle's fine. But maybe I'd better see if Pinkie Pie needs help with the pancakes.
Angel?
These are delicious, Pinkie Pie.
Thanks! Twilight spent all night helping me pick the flavor. I kept thinking we found the right one, but she insisted I make even more to try. And more. And more and more and more and more. It was like she never wanted to leave. Exactly! Eventually we ran out of time, so we just went with every very any chip surprise. The surprise is I lost a measuring spoon in the batter. Some pony's gonna get a very special pancake.
Up all night, huh? Is that why she's so, out of it?
I don't mean to sound unappreciative, but has any pony else noticed that Twilight's been a little too helpful lately?
Now that you mention it, she was lending a hoof at Sweet Apple Acres the other day and stuck around till near midnight. Dug up 53 planting holes when all I needed was 10.
She spent an entire afternoon rearranging a single gem drawer at the boutique. An entire afternoon!
You think that's weird? She raced me like 100 times the other day and lost every time. She just kept going. Best out of 10. Best out of...
Hello everybody and welcome to the NBA Show Reviews. This is James Cork and with me I have Norman Sanso.
What are these things on my hooves? They're strange.
They are called wrinkles and they happen on old people, like you are. And also awesome Brony reviewer Silver Quill.
I have been to high school. Middle age is nothing.
For those that say that we haven't been to war or we don't know what suffering is, yeah, try going to high school. Good luck with that. God damn it. Especially this high school, because today, of all movies that we may be touching upon, we're going to be talking about Equestria Girls, the My Little Pony spin-off movie directed by Jason Thyssen and written by Megan McCarthy. That was first premiered in the Los Angeles Film Festival on June 15, 2013. Wow. So, well, what is there to say about this movie that hasn't been said yet? I mean, it's been 2 years after the fact, no pun intended, and it's not, like...
You owe me a
yeah,
quarter.
Sorry. I think I do. I'm not allowed to say that without having to pay the owner money for it. Goddamn with this copyright thingy. But yeah, so, you know, we're gonna go across the board and we're gonna talk about this movie. We're not gonna go scene by scene, no need for that. And if you haven't watched it already, well, you know, just for the sake of it, if you haven't watched it and you're listening to this review, go watch the movie. It's only an hour long. We can wait. Then you can come back and listen to us. So, guys, what did you think of this film? What did you make of it?
Well, I fully agree with people that this was basically You could see the dollar signs in Hasbro's corporate eyes as they realized, hey, we can market creepy-looking dolls to children and they'll buy it if we slap the My Little Pony logo on it. I'm sorry to be cynical, but I really think that was the initial motive driving this forward.
True.
Now, I will well, the staff that they did the best with what they had, which, you have to draw humans. That's going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
You have to transition from the My Little Pony universe to the Equestria Girls universe, even more confusing. And you have to basically have a very short-lived conflict. But to be honest, this had everything working against it. And ultimately, while I consider it a harmless movie, it didn't damage anything. It didn't reduce the characters in any capacity. At the same time, I was like, even if this is part of the continuity, it has no impact. Everything that happens in the human world doesn't follow Twilight into Equestria. So right there, we've lost some involvement. I talked at length in a review about how Twilight's worried about being a leader, and I still maintain that she didn't learn to be a leader in the human world. She learned popularity. And people have argued, but leaders are supposed to be popular. No. Abraham Lincoln did a lot of unpopular things during his time as president. I point to him.
One of them cost him his life.
What, going to the theater?
Well, I'm sure the theater was quite popular. JFK also made unpopular decisions. In fact, some of the best leaders we've had have not worried about being popular. They've worried about making good decisions. So I get kind of uppity when people say, we're at this point now, and this might explain potential President Donald Trump, that we're confusing popularity with leadership ability.
Okay.
Well, I guess
don't
that's
vote
the
Trump.
I guess it's the problem with every leader system nowadays is that they don't. You're right. They are confusing popularity with leadership. That is never the case, or very rarely the case. But I think the reason why people may defend Equestria Girls in that regard, I think it's because, well, maybe they see it as a different perspective on high school. Like, Jai is the unpopular one that ends up saving the day. It's like, what? No, it's not. I always found it bizarre when people try to defend this movie from that perspective. Like, who is saying these things anyway? Where did you see these comments?
My YouTube video, Equestria Daily comments.
Well, but regarding the continuity, I never considered this actually to be canon at all. I don't know about you guys, but how can you consider canon these when they are talking about alternate universes and then they talk about this happens and then they don't bring it up into the TV show? It's as canon as the Yu-Gi-Oh movie is to the Yu-Gi-Oh show.
But then they have Flash Sentry appears in Three's a Crowd and introduces ponies in Twilight's Kingdom, and you're like, oh, he's there. Yeah. He was in the movie. Yeah. Oh my. I mean, I think everyone would rather he just took a chill pill elsewhere. Even though, okay, I'll maintain this, and we'll probably talk about this more when we get to Human Flash Sentry. There is nothing inherently wrong with Flash Sentry in pony or human form. In fact, I saw some comments on Derpy Boru talking about his character, and it was an interesting point. If he hadn't been fleshed out to a degree, people would have loved to ship him with Twilight because he was this tabula rasa that they could make a personality for. But as it is, the old boy has just enough to him that you have a certain inflexibility in how you can present his character, but he's not fleshed out enough to really hold the audience's attention for extended period.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
He's a weird character in that aspect. When you think about it, it's like he is not bland enough that I can replace him with myself and put me in his place, but he's not fleshed out enough to be his own character. He's weird in that. I have never seen a character that is so bizarrely put together. I'm pretty sure you guys can think of many examples, but I cannot think of any right now. It's odd.
I don't know. I mean, Flash as a character, he's pretty, well, how do I put this? In a show where the female character is more prominent than the male character. Flash is just one of those characters who is just there to be the love interest for the other character, which is Twilight. And to me, he doesn't really push the story along or drag the story down. He's just there just to be there. Not until up to the Luna scene where he comes in and saves Twilight. But besides that, Flash, if you look at it, he's kind of a awesome guy and a kind of cool friend you want to hang out with. He may be standoffish at first, but once you get to know him, he's pretty cool.
Well, I think we can pursue this when we get into talk about the movie proper.
Yeah, because I just noticed that the gun is over there and we are like in the stratosphere right now because we jumped the gun so high.
Yeah.
We are leaving the planet.
I'm just waiting for my turn, James.
Take it, man. Take it.
Oh, wow. No, I mean...
Do it! Just do it!
Okay. But anyway, as for me, when I how to put this? The movie, before it came out, I did this special podcast with, with Alpha Brony from Bronyville, Cal Payne, Pixel Kitty, Chef Sandy from Bronyville. And we were talking about the implications of this movie coming out and what do we do. It's like basically My Little Pony, Equestria Girls, What Should We Do, and Is It Time to Panic? It's a podcast on the show. You guys should check it out. It's a while back, but we basically talk about the movie or what's this about and should we panic? Should we support it? Should we not support it and stuff like it was a really long time ago, but overall, once I saw this movie, I kind of am okay with it. It's not that bad. I wouldn't say this is the best movie I've seen in my life, but it's not that bad. It's kind of entertaining, and it does bring up a whole lot of questions to who or how Sunset came along and what is Celestia's deal. Well, when we go through it, we'll go through it, but I need to ask a few things when we get to them. Like, what's we're looking for? Plot holes? Something like that?
Some ponies have those.
All I'm saying, Norman, is that you sound genuinely ticked.
Not really. It's just that, okay, besides the point that I've been reading a lot of fanfics, but it's just like the whole thing of, okay, I'll just
This messes with my headcanon.
No. Here's the thing. How does Sunset Shimmer know where to find the crown? And how does she know the crown even exists? And how does she know where to look for them and stuff? And when did Celestia have Sunset? And how old is Sunset? Blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? It's just a whole lot of how, what, what. But I guess when we reach that point, we'll reach that point.
We will reach that point when we reach that point. Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You don't have to worry about it. We'll talk about it at length. Or not. Or maybe we'll just say it's a kid's movie. You don't need to think about it. But they thought about it on the show. Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Anyway. So how are we going to do this, guys?
I didn't even say what I thought of the movie.
Oh,
I see. You just want me to introduce the film and then you just talk about it. Okay, fine.
You talk about...
I'm going to the corner now.
You share your opinion.
Goodbye.
Okay, what do you think about it, man?
The way that I see this movie is... how would I put this one? It's 2 parts My Little Pony, 1 part High School Musical, 1 part Persona 4.
What?
Yeah, no, seriously, because the way that Twilight has to build the friendships with the human main 6, and
social
then
links.
they have to build up their social links so they can go defeat a demon at the end of the game. It's Persona 4, okay? That's how I saw the movie since it premiered in 2013, and that's how I see it nowadays. That's one of the reasons why I enjoy it so much. I mean, I detach it completely from the My Little Pony TV show. This has little to nothing to do with the My Little Pony show. It has no connection with any of the seasons. We only have the characters, the voice actors, and the writers just taking this, making a spin-off. And because I don't connect it with MLP at all, I think that's why I enjoy it so much. This is probably one of those movies that I kind of was obsessed with it for a while. And like, I pretty much watched it every day. I had like during the entire summer of 2013, I watched it daily, and like had it as a in the background or there in just playing in the background, not paying attention to it, or sometimes paying attention to it.
Wow.
But I think it's I think the reason why I watched this movie so much is the same reason why I watched Star Trek Into Darkness so much, because both movies they are like a train wreck in a clown circus.
Oh, wow.
They are terrible, they are a mess, and they are not really good, but it's so entertaining to watch, and it's so fun that I can just switch off my brain and just watch it. People were saying, oh, Michael Bay is the perfect director for switch off your brain and watch the movie. Nah, that's not true. That is not true at all. This movie, though, is the perfect switch off your brain and just watch it, because it doesn't require a lot of thinking to enjoy.
So wait, James, you're telling me that Twilight is Kenpachi Ramasama?
I love you, Kenpachi Ramasama.
Yay! Kenpachi Ramasama, how can you be so flippant and so desirable?
With Nanako the narc face.
Oh my gosh.
So where do we start? Teams or scenes?
We start on the Crystal Empire.
Alright, then.
Oh, synonymous with disappointment.
Yeah. I will agree, it's not the best way to start. No, I agree with you, Silver. Go ahead. Say what you were gonna say.
Well, the Crystal Empire has become synonymous with underutilization. I may have already said this in a previous podcast, but I'm gonna rehash this. Everything in the Crystal Empire could be great. This mystical land of magic and mystery, this lost for 1,000 years, so many new venues for entertainment. How many times have we visited this place? 3?
Yeah, I guess.
Let's see. We have on the season 3 premiere, Games Ponies Play, the Crystal Games. We saw it briefly with the crossover episode with Just for Sidekicks. Then we saw it at the end of season 5. No, at the end of season 4, I mean, season 5 hasn't even ended yet. What am I talking about? Season 4, and yeah, at the end of season 4. And, Pinkie Pie was there for a brief moment in Party Poop.
There's the other distinction. We go there as tourists for all of 5 minutes, tops. This place can't carry an episode for the life of it.
I don't think that's it, because my point of view is the writers are not utilizing this place well, because from what I'm looking at the pictures here, it has a lot of stories to tell, like the library, the scenes, everything is there for the pickings, just the writers are not utilizing it really well.
Yeah, but if you notice, even in most recent episodes, in the Princess Spike episode, they keep using Canterlot, which is a location that has been used since season 1. I think the problem with the Crystal Empire is that because of Hasbro's... No, it's not that it's too far. I mean, from a practical point of view, Hasbro wanted them to promote the crystal toys and all that, and you know, the ponies that were made out of that they were translucent, and they didn't fully flesh the Crystal Empire beyond the season premiere. And because season 3 had only 13 episodes, I'm pretty sure if season 3 had more than 13 episodes, they could have put a few more stories that took place in the Crystal Empire, perhaps fleshed out the story with Twilight Princess a lot better, give her a bit more exposure. So, yeah, you know what, whenever somebody says, the Crystal Empire is completely trashed and unused, I am like, I agree. I like the place, I like the season 3 premiere, but I agree. It's so underutilized. It's insulting.
And the same can be said for its rulers, 2 very interesting characters with a lot of potential that has been, in my eyes, going underutilized. Flash Sentry, he's living there now for reasons.
Mm-hmm.
He could be a really interesting character, but is not being utilized. It's all there. There's all the Crystal Ponies. We know of the librarian, but that's it. Even in the Crystal Pony, even in the comics, most of the Crystal Ponies are just ponified versions of TV personalities.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much that could be there, but either they can't or don't want to do anything with it.
Or maybe they are not allowed.
Yeah, I think it could be one of Hasbro's mandate thingies where we want to focus more on certain things and to push certain products. So this could be one of them. And the Crystal Empire, well, we'll see, because we still have half a season left and a season 6 to cover. So we'll see if they do more with it.
I shall not hold my breath.
Yeah, true that.
Well, you know that the seasons will keep rolling as Hasbro's marketing keep chugging out ideas. Like you said something at the beginning of the review, Silver, about how you were very cynical by saying, "Oh, this is Hasbro's new product; they are going to promote it, and that's what they need." No, that is not cynical. That is realistic. That is being